Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about exciting things that are happening in our community, and today will be no different. You know, it's the holiday season, and one of the things that people oftentimes think about during this time of year is all of the ways that we can be festive and celebratory. And at the same time, while we're doing all of that, it's important for us to be mindful about those reasons for the season. At the same time, it's important for us to be familiar with the idea that this is not always a merry time for everyone for the same reasons. In fact, those crooks and robbers are out to get you. Well, today we're going to talk about some information that we hope will be helpful in making some decisions during the holiday season that can protect you and your valuables. Elizabeth Garcia is the Executive Director of the Better Business Bureau of North Alabama. This is my first time getting to talk to her on this broadcast. Welcome to the program.
Well, thank you so much for having me here today. It's a pleasure.
It's good to have you, and this is an absolute appropriate time of year as we talk about all of the ways in which people are challenged by people who don't always have people's best interest in mind.
Certainly not.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Elizabeth, I know you're relatively new to your job and to this community, and we're very glad to have you. I know that you've taken advantage of lots of ways to get plugged into the community, and you're probably like me, having the time of your life.
Oh, I certainly am. We've had a great time. I've been now with the Better Business Bureau for just over a year. And the moment I walked in the door, I started running, and I haven't stopped since, but it's been great. We've done so many community events. I've met so many new and wonderful people that really have the interests of consumers at heart, and we really like to work together when we have that shared mission.
You know, that's very important too. And before we really talk about the holiday scamming and other kinds of things that goes on, you know, the Better Business Bureau really is out there and has a fairly large footprint across our community. Tell people essentially what is the Better Business Bureau and how it works on behalf of people in the community.
Well, the Better Business Bureau serves as an advocate for both consumers and businesses, but the goal and our mission is to build a marketplace of trust. For consumers, we work with consumers who may have a complaint with a particular business. We work with the consumer and the business to try to help both come to a reasonable solution to that particular complaint, but in a way that's fair to both parties. In addition to that, we offer consumer education programs called our Fraud Summits. This year we've done already 6, and we're looking to do a 7th before the end of the year. And we also work with consumers to help everyone safeguard their identity so that they don't become victims to ID theft. And we do this through offering free Shred Day events across our 13-county service area. In fact, our counties range all the way from the Shoals in the west over to the northeast in Jackson County, DeKalb, and Marshall counties, all the way down to Coleman and Winston counties. So we serve a very large area, but this year we've been very fortunate with all of our partners to be able to go into each and every one of those major areas and have over 9 Shred Day events where consumers can bring their paper documents, their electronic items, have those shredded or recycled, and even have their hard drives destroyed safely so their information won't be stolen.
And it's all free to the community.
It's free to the community.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think about those outdated credit cards or other sources of identification, driver's licenses, and other kinds of things.
Yes.
This is just a great time to be able to destroy those things. That's
old
right.
check stubs, things of that nature, medical paperwork that might have your social security number on it, anything that could be used to steal your identity. And believe me, the identity thieves and scammers out there are savvy, and they know how to scrape the information that they need to take advantage of consumers.
There are people out there that do that because they're busy trying to figure out how to steal our lives and steal our money and steal our identities. And this is an emerging problem that is growing bigger every day. And I think that the ways that people approach this are so very important. So why don't we start right there with talking a little bit about the problem of identity theft and some of the challenges that people face.
Well, these days in particular, because because of the advent of social media and the continuing emergence of social media, it's very easy these days for potential scammers or ID thieves to get a lot of very personal information about you. And a lot of times we don't know how much information is out there on us. And we're not talking now just about medical records from insurance companies or elsewhere. We're talking about information you put out about yourself on a variety of different social media platforms. So we urge consumers to be very careful about the information that you share. Don't share information about your address, your location, a telephone number on those social media platforms unless you know it's with a private party where your information will not become public. Be very careful. If you're going on vacation, don't post those photos yet of you in Hawaii or you in Tahiti when
having a great time.
Having a wonderful time. That's perfect information for a thief to go target your home and take advantage of your vacation.
And they do. And
They
I've
absolutely
seen that
do.
happen a number of times on big stories.
Scammers, they'll keep doing all that they can. As long as they're making money at it, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I think that persistence is interesting because I think about the hacking phenomenon and the fact that, you know, they're very annoying people and very irritating people. But I mean, that's what they do. They wake up in the morning thinking about ways to circumvent the system or to perhaps even challenge their own sense of technical skills and intelligence and access and that type of stuff. And it's a very, very delicate environment out there that has a sensitivity that people really need to be aware of on a sustained basis. As much as we celebrate things like weddings and baptisms and vacations and anniversaries, we really have to be careful about the information that we share, and images as well, as you said. It's not just the text, but it's also the physical stuff that we share as well.
Anything that can give a potential scammer or thief a clue that you're not where you normally are, they can take advantage of that information. And as you were saying, Kenny, scammers are very tech savvy these days. You might have heard of the situation where someone gets a telephone call and they look on their caller ID and, wow, that's my telephone number. So they get a call from supposedly from their own telephone number. Well, that means your caller ID service has been scammed, and it's more than likely a scammer on the other line who's simply programmed in your number, or they can program in just about any number around the world that they want to.
Wow, it really is moving to higher and higher levels of creativity, as well as just the complexity of what people are able to do and how deep they can go in that process. It's pretty scary, actually.
Yes.
We got the holiday season in front of us, and this is a very sensitive time, once again, for people who are vulnerable. They're in the midst of celebrating and they're excited about the holidays. They're traveling as well as shopping. They're spending time with friends and loved ones, and they're sometimes not paying attention to the fact that the scammers are watching them. What are some specific holiday kinds of things that people need to keep in mind?
Well, as you're going shopping, and a lot of us are maybe a little bit last minute on the holiday shopping, but try to shop at, if you're going to stay local, use reputable vendors that you know for sure. Watch out for storefronts that pop up overnight. The same is true online. Watch for websites that pop up overnight advertising ridiculously low prices for items that you know are brand name items and typically sell for a much higher dollar value. So shop also online only at the reputable established marketplaces. That way you can be sure that if something is wrong with the product, it's not as described, you don't receive it, you have some recourse with that marketplace. Also be aware of the terms of the pricing. Make sure it's clear what the pricing is for the product. Make sure you understand the terms for return and how long you have to wait for the item to arrive to your location. Make sure you understand all of that before you click the pay button or you purchase the product. Also understand what the terms are for returning the product if you don't want it or if there's a problem with it. Often a lot of people can get stuck with an item because they weren't clear on the fact that this was a sale item, not for return. And so that can often throw people off.
So there needs to be a lot of consumer education,
there sure
self-education about this process.
Yeah.
And you're talking about ordering things. A couple of things just came to mind. We think about reputable companies like Amazon, for example, but let's say, for instance, I'm at home and I get a message in my email and it says that Amazon is trying to reach me about something that I don't remember ordering or can't remember engaging with them in any
Yes.
way. That's a big scam process that goes on, and people tend to click sometimes without thinking or assessing.
Yeah, especially if it looks like it's from a vendor, a well-known vendor. And let me tell you, scammers can spoof that just as easily as they can your caller ID.
Yeah.
It's easy to copy pictures, logos, the basic look of a website or an email, a true email from the company. If you receive an unsolicited email from any organization or company, even if it seems like it's the brand company, it's better not to click on any of the links that are in there because it could well be a scam. And if you click on those links, one of two things can happen. One, you'll either be taken to another website that might be very disreputable and get you into other areas of trouble, or when you click on the link, it might take you to a place that will download malware onto your own computer system, where then the scammer can do key logging and find out your passwords, get banking information, or whatever information you might have stored on your computer. So we caution, anytime you get an unsolicited email or text, don't click on any links, no matter what the pitch is, no matter what the offer is.
And this is that time of year, too, where people are looking for bargains.
Absolutely.
On the legitimate side.
Yes.
But on the side of the scammers, they're looking to take advantage of people who are looking for legitimate bargains. And so people are very vulnerable at this time. When they see something that looks really good, it's possibly really too good to be true.
It absolutely is. And that is our motto, in fact. If you see items that are very low priced, that they're normally at a higher price, I would be very wary. And again, shop at established, well-known websites rather than going to those that offer really low discounts on products or services.
Yeah. You know, the other thing is you're talking about ordering things, and I work during the day. So the UPS guy, the FedEx guy or lady leaves it on my front door. There's a lot of package stealing going on these days as well, so people have to be careful about that.
And we urge consumers to if you know you're going to not be there when you're expecting a package to be delivered, it's a good idea, one, to alert your neighbor or another friend if they could maybe stop by and pick it up for you, or if you could alert the delivery service to put the product inside a door, inside your porch, somewhere where it's not visible from the exterior. That way, that will help deter thieves from stealing the holiday items that you want for your friends and family. But there have also been, locally, there have been scammers that will follow the delivery trucks around and wait for them to deposit the item and then go right behind them and steal the product or steal the box.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's just amazing the techniques and schemes that people just dream up, and that's a pretty simple one right there, but it happens.
And it's lucrative because there's probably very many high-priced items in a lot of those boxes.
Yeah. Talk real quickly. We've got about 3 minutes left, and I'm really opening up a can here, but I'm going to open it up anyway because I think it's important. The use of credit and debit cards at this time of year really has to be protected. Just give us a couple of quick tips.
When you use a credit card, there are a lot of safeguards in place to help you in the case that you might be scammed or you might lose your credit card or have it stolen. And typically, if you report it immediately, you're only liable for about the first $50. However, with a debit card, it's just like taking money out of your bank. And unless you report it or know about it immediately, can report it, you could be liable for a lot more money if money's taken out of your account than with a credit card. So we urge consumers to be very cautious when using debit cards. It's better to pay with credit card when you're buying products, especially for the holiday season, because you have a lot more recourse for returns and disputing charges.
Yeah, and people definitely want to be aware of all of those things because, again, there's a higher vulnerability at this time of year than most other times of year, and people want to be careful about that and thoughtful. So you've got the Better Business Bureau out there, and people want to know more information about you or some of the services that you provide. You talked about all the consumer education that you provide, and I know that you're always willing to get phone calls and emails requesting your services. How would people reach out to you and get that kind of information?
Sure. Well, one easy way is to go to bbb.org. That will take you to your location, wherever you are, to your local BBB office, and in particular this will be the North Alabama office. You can also call us at 256-533-1640. We'll be happy to answer any question you have, look up a business review, give you any information that we can to help you stay safe.
Elizabeth, thank you for being here with us and giving all this great information. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
All right. We hope that you make sure that you don't end up being scammed during the holiday season. Listen to these tips and really put them to use. We've heard some great stuff today that can benefit every single one of us. We hope that you continue to join us for Impact on a daily basis as we come on the air, sharing you great information about things that are happening in our community. We hope that you'll like us on Facebook at Impact with Kenny Anderson. In the meantime, we hope that you'll join us for our next edition of the broadcast, and we'll see you again soon. For Impact, I'm Kenny Anderson. Have a great day.